Okay, Atari, let's see your best pitch.
You're out, Rose.
The Atari video computer system is 20 cartridges with 1,300 game variations you play on your own TV set.
You can't keep me in here, Atari.
Don't tonight. Play it.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the Information Purification Directives. Created for the first time in all history a garden of pure ideology where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests of their contradictory thoughts. Unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Out. Hello. Tonight, we issue fair warning to those of you who are foolish enough to believe that old Mother Earth is the only planet in this endless universe of ours inhabited by human creatures. But you'll see what we mean, just as tonight the Martian eyes will see Lights out.
Good morning, Professor Lyman.
Good evening, Frank.
What'll it be?
The customary poison.
Sir? And what do you hear from the Martians, Professor? No, some guys see pink elephants or little lizards. But the Professor here, he's different. He's got Martians.
Well, someday, Franklin, when it's too late, people will appreciate my warnings. Remember, they laughed at Galileo.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've got work to do, Mr. Lyman, so excuse me, will you? And, don't bother the customers, eh? Let me know if he bothers you, mister.
Don't look now.
Look at what?
You see him?
Sure I saw him.
He is one of them. He's been following me all day. Now the trick is to jump the gun on them with absolute convincing proof. Did you see how nonchalantly he walked by just then carrying his drink? He'd have fooled anybody, don't you agree?
Oh, definitely.
I knew that you were sensitive the first minute I saw you. You're a press photographer, aren't you?
How'd you know that?
I've been following you all morning.
You what?
Yes.
Same again, gents?
sir.
I first noticed you on the subway. I saw how you were watching everybody, particularly their foreheads, like a cat. Well, speaking of cats, by the way, did you know that they can see them too? Only they pretend that they can't. Of course, I have a theory that before they came to Earth, the cats ruled.
Who are they?
Well, the Martians, of course.
Martians? Like in Orson Welles?
Yes, I suspected from the first moment I saw you that you were aware of them too.
Look, I'm a photographer. Faces are my business. I watch everybody.
Well, I could be wrong, of course. I've tried to persuade so many people, and all they do is laugh at me. Professor Spitzer, that is the astrophysics man. Now, he had an article in last week's Time in which he said that assuming that there was life on Mars and assuming that they were way ahead of us and could come to Earth, nobody would believe the few people who did see them. Unless, of course, there was absolute definite proof.
They're all around us, you say?
All around.
Him?
Shh. They rule the world. They have conquered us, and they're so clever that we don't even know it. Wait, they follow us, they even marry us. Now, you take bathtubs, for instance.
Okay, take bathtubs.
Nobody in their right mind would say that bathtubs are comfortable for us humans. But for Martians, they're fine. Now, look, whenever I hear the water running into my bathtub, and I know that there's a Martian splashing around in there, I usually pretend that I don't hear a thing.
Oh, it's a smart move.
Well, they hypnotize us, you know.
Oh, you don't say.
It accounts for so many things. Now, why does a criminal confess? Isn't that the most illogical thing in the world? And yet he does it. Nothing makes any sense.
See, you're serious about all this, aren't you?
And why is my wife so illogical about money?
Martians?
Precisely. You know, just last week, I realized suddenly that my bed was too short for me, and I wanted to buy a long one. Did I? Oh, no. Why? Because the Martian who generally sleeps there, he persuaded me that I shouldn't spend the money. I shall go through the rest of my life now with my feet sticking out over the edge of that bed. Does that make any sense, does it?
Hey, look, you aren't kidding, are you?
And take wars. Wars don't make sense from any human viewpoint. Nobody wants them. We go right on having them. Why?
Search me, Doc. Why?
From the Martian viewpoint, they're valuable. You see, they give us a spurt in technocracy. And the Martians use our developments for their own purposes.
You figured this out all by yourself, huh, Doc?
All by myself.
Okay, Doc, I get the picture. Now, look, why don't you take your drink and get down there and sit all by yourself?
And you know how I tell?
No.
It's the third eye.
Did you say that again?
It's the third eye. There's a third eye right here, middle of the forehead. It's invisible most of the time.
Hey, wait a minute.
What?
If it's invisible, Doc, how can you see it?
There's a special prescription for infrared light. My physician gave it to me about a year ago for a most unusual eye condition. That was when I saw them for the first time, and I concluded that the third eye is only visible in infrared light. Now, I want to give this secret to the world, but nobody will believe me unless you...
Yeah, sure, Doc. Go on.
Well, I must warn the world, and the question is, how far will I get?
That's a good question.
See, not even the Martians believe me. Oh, if they did, I'd be a dead duck by now, wouldn't I? Now, I had hoped that... No. I suppose that your Martian has hypnotized you just like all the rest. You won't believe it.
Did you say my Martian?
Please. Now, I may be just a tiny bit drunk, but my logic is absolutely unimpaired. 2 and 2 equals 2 and 2. Either you know about the Martians or you don't. If you do know, why do you give me this My Martian routine? My Martian knows you have a Martian. I know you have a Martian. The only question is, do you know it? Will you think hard? Will you?
No, I don't have one.
Why? You're very nervous, aren't you? Yes. You're very nervous, aren't you? Of course you have a Martian. Everybody has one following him around, watching him, giving him...
What would I be doing with a Martian? You're out of your... Was it,
Look, I must go.
Not just yet, Doc.
What?
Is anybody watching us? Listen, when you started talking, I figured you were loony as a bedbug. Maybe you are. But this third-eye business interests me. Sit down.
No, I'm...
Come on, sit down. I have a studio on the ground floor of my house where I do some private work. You know, portraits and stuff to pick up an extra buck now and again.
I really don't need any portraits.
About a month ago, I started fooling around with some infrared film. It's something new, you know, for taking pictures in almost complete darkness. Well, I shot a picture of my studio. When I developed it, there was someone looking in my window. Well, I blew it up to see who it was, and here it is. I figured it was some Halloween gag until you started talking a little while ago.
Now that we've both seen it, we might be able to convince people. It'll be dangerous, though. You see, as long as it was just a question of one drunk old man babbling in a bar, they didn't need to worry about that. But now the two don't.
You take this photograph for safekeeping.
To the negative.
Well, come to my studio about 8 o'clock tonight. We'll figure out how to proceed. Can you be there?
My wife?
Well, tell her you have to visit a sick friend. Tell her anything but be there. Here's the address.
Well,
You better go out the back way.
So long, Professor. He's quite a character, eh? Look. You know, I've seen him come here with all kinds of things. But he's the first one I've seen with Martians.
Hello, Sorrell speaking.
Hello, Mr. Srell. This is Professor Lyman.
Well?
I had a difficult time. My wife is a most suspicious woman, but I managed to sneak out.
Good. Where are you?
I'm in a drugstore near your corner. Now, you listen to me. Do you remember the one who was snooping around the bar?
Yeah.
He's been following me ever since I left the house. I think I managed to give him the slip, but I'll stay here a few minutes to make certain. You have the negative?
Yes.
Oh, good. But we must be careful. We must be careful. When I get there, will you let me in quickly?
Right.
Good. I'll be over in a minute. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'll be waiting. Thank heaven you got here. You.
Good evening, Mr. Sorrell. You have an excellent memory for faces. So do I.
What do you want?
Let's not be naive, Mr. Sorrell. I was extremely interested in your infrared photography this morning.
I don't know what you're talking about.
After listening to our friend Lyman babble about three-eyed Martians for the past few weeks, it came as quite a surprise to me when you actually produced a photograph corroborating what he said. Naturally, it was most important that I verify the photograph and the technique.
You're crazy.
You're mistaken, Mr. Sorrell. It's our friend Lyman who's crazy. At least I hope to prove he is. You will get the photograph for me, please. And the negative.
Who are you?
Our friend Lyman has been acting most peculiarly lately. His wife has become concerned. She's thinking of having him legally committed to an institution.
What's all this got to do with you?
I, too, am most anxious that Lyman be committed. I've been following him for some weeks. So, naturally, Mr. Sorrell, following him, I observed him. So you see, that's my job. I want to make sure that Lyman is committed as insane, so that Mrs. Lyman is free to pursue the kind of life that she chooses to lead. So naturally, when you come along and verify all the things that he's been saying, I am most concerned.
You're lying. You're one of them.
Get the photograph, Mr. Sorrell.
And if I refuse?
You will not refuse.
Very well. It's in the dark room.
And Mr. Sorrell, no tricks, please. My client is very determined.
Operator. Hello, operator. Get me the police. Hello. Hello, operator. I see you thought of everything, including the telephone wires. Here's the negative. It was taken with infrared film using a combination of filters known only to me. I used this camera using ordinary technique, like this. Here. Here. Light!
Now we know that the Martians are flesh and blood and they can be killed.
How?
Well, I managed to sneak in and surprise them. I borrowed your little paper knife.
This is murder.
What do you think he'd have done to you if I hadn't killed him?
I'll get the police.
No, don't be a fool. Do you think that the police are going to believe a fantastic story about a three-eyed Martian? We aren't ready for them yet. No, we've got to convince the world before we tell them.
The body. Someone may come in here at any moment.
You pretend that you're taking... You pretend that you're taking his portrait. You see, I'll be in the basement.
I can't.
Well, you must.
One moment. Wait a minute. Maybe he wasn't a Martian.
Why,
Maybe
of course he's a Martian. I can see his third eye quite plainly. It's staring wide open. Don't you feel it looking at you?
Stop talking like that. Hide.
You be calm.
Police! Oh, Mr. Sorrell?
Hello, officer. I'm terribly sorry to have kept you waiting, but I was doing a portrait.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to bother you, sir, but the telephone operator phoned precinct. She said she got a call from your number. Sounded like you needed help.
No, everything's perfectly all right, really. Thanks very much for coming anyway.
Well, I just wanted to make sure. Mind if I look around?
Well,
I'm pretty interested in photography. I noticed your rig in here. Yeah, that's a beauty, all right. Uh-huh. Boy, I wish I could afford one like that, but I guess not on my salary, huh? Well, Mr. Sorrell, I see you're busy, so I'll just take off. I'm sorry to have bothered you, sir, but you know how these things are. Oh, watch the birdie. Good night, Mr. Sorrell.
Good night, officer. only I could be certain. If only there was some positive way. Lyman.
What?
Are you ready yet?
In a minute. You bring him down.
Oh, Mother in heaven. There's no third eye. He's a human. An ordinary human. Lyman. Lyman!
I'm ready for you.
Lyman, we've made a mistake.
Oh, no. There's no mistake, I assure you, Mr. Sorrell. The graves are ready. Both of them.
Both?
Both. Come down.
Oh, well, no one would have believed Mr. Sorrell's story anyway.
This is a Conestoga wagon of frontier fame. These were the wheels that carried the pioneers and all their possessions across America. These are the wheels that covered a continent. Today, the wheels are different, but they're still rolling.
Wheels are rolling, rolling all along the highway. Wheels that keep a-rolling all the night and day, singing a song of the men behind the motor trucks, a song of safety and service all along the way. Keep them rolling, keep America strong, east, west, north, south, rolling along. the nation. Wheels that keep her rolling all the night and day, singing a song of the men behind the motor trucks. Keep them rolling all across the USA.
Across the USA, only trucks can deliver to your store or your own front door so swiftly such things as ice cream, fresh meat, newspapers, clothing, furniture, and the hundreds of other things you use every day. Modern trucks deliver the goods faster and more economically. They make your life more pleasant. You live better because of trucks that keep rolling along.
Singing a song of the men behind the motor trucks. Keep them rolling all across the USA.
This message has been brought to you in behalf of the American trucking industry by Chevrolet, maker of Chevrolet sturdy-built trucks.
Nice warm bath. Just great for relief of muscular aches and pains, stiffness, minor arthritic pain. And the good news is that today's Absorbine Junior actually helps soak away aches and pains like a warm bath. Even better. What's more, it's medicated. So when muscles are sore, knotted, and tired, just rub Absorbine Junior with its control flow applicator into the area that hurts. It releases warmth that penetrates deep to soak away aches and pains. Warmth that penetrates deep to soak away stiffness, penetrates deep to soak away fatigue and tension. Ah, just great. Today's Absorbine Junior for fast, long-lasting relief. Absorbine Junior helps soak away aches and pains like a warm bath. Even better, Absorbine Junior. Try it.
Oh, Miss Meyerson, that Ajax TV test. Can you do it right now with this grape juice stain?
Why, sure. Wet the stain. Now add pure white Ajax. You probably scrub, but this time we won't. Because this test proves that new Ajax with instant chlorine bleach can bleach out stubborn food stains in seconds without scrubbing. See?
Well, I never.
Nothing cleans and bleaches better than new Ajax, the bleaching cleanser.
Now, out here in Las Vegas, rain, as we all know, is pretty rare. Let's see what can happen when you do get caught in a real downpour.
Ellen Stanley.
Come on, let's share it. I haven't seen you since graduation. That was 1950. But Ellen looks so young. I've just got to ask Ellen, how do you manage to have such a lovely complexion?
Palmolive Soap Facials. They can help most any girl be younger looking.
Yes, a gentle Palmolive facial, 1-minute massage 3 times daily. That's the secret. And now you can be younger looking with new pink Palmolive, enriched with beauty cream. Sister in beauty to new pastel green Palmolive. Be younger looking the mild Palmolive way.
Start your Palmolive care today.
Lights out.
Hello. Are you one of those fellows whose wife spends a little more than you earn? Charlie Drome's wife was. But Charlie loved his wife, and so he made a deal. Lights out.
Sorry, Charlie. It just hasn't worked. I'm tired and I'm sorry.
I know, Helen.
Can't go on living like this, with nothing, day in, day out. It's not fair.
Day in, day out.
Remember this?
Hmm?
Paradise Beach. Take a look at yourself. Take a look at a man. Then get up off that bed and face yourself in the mirror. I dare you.
We just come out of the water. You were kneeling on the sand, picking up a towel to dry your hair. And your eyelashes stuck together with wet. I told you about buying this bookshop, and then I asked you to marry me.
I was a fool.
You were beautiful, Helen. You were the most beautiful girl I'd ever known.
You said we were going to be eagles, flying into the sun. Oh, stop your breath in my heart.
Listen, Helen. Listen to me.
No, Charlie, not this time. No routine. You're a little boy and you know it. And I know it. And we're not going to wind up with your head in my lap.
But it'll change, Helen. Why, just yesterday, Miss Crowley promised to buy the Pride and Prejudice, the special edition. Is there anyone?
Anyone, baby? Anyone who might have... I lie awake at nights thinking about them. About the men I could have married. About the places I could be. Martinis in Paris. Breakfast in Rome. And here I am. In the back room of a musty bookstore with no light, no air, no nothing.
That's what you really want, Helen.
What?
Money and clothes and good times. Then it's wrong, isn't it, for you to live like this with nothing.
Oh, come off it.
He's coming today, this morning.
Who's coming?
That doesn't matter. It only matters that I make you happy, Helen, however I can. And when he comes and leaves, you won't have to live with nothing.
What are you talking about?
I can't tell you.
Look, Charlie.
I want to hold you so much closer than I can.
I told you we'd be eagles in the sun. I told you I'd make you fly, but I never kept my word. I never gave you your wings, Helen. But now you will have them. Just wait and see.
You will understand, Mr. Drome, if I use no names. My client has a phobia of names. Perhaps you're not quite ready, Mr. Drome.
Tell me, Mr. If you were in my shoes...
Shall we get on?
The last time you said 50,000?
I did, but if you wish to raise an objection, you may.
No. No objection. Your client, when would he...
I thought, that there's no real hurry, Mr. Drome. Arbitrarily, perhaps tomorrow. But if you wish to postpone...
No. Tomorrow. But not before. I need time. I need a little time.
If you wish, you may have more.
More would be too much. It's like an operation. I want it clean and quick. But I need tonight.
Tell her as soon as possible, Mr. Drome. It'll be easier that way.
Tell her that...
Tell Mrs. Drome that you intend to sell her to my client.
Don't say that.
It's the truth, isn't it?
No. No, it's not the truth. I love my wife more than you imagine. More than men like me can afford to love. What can we offer our wives? I've never given Helen anything. But your client...
Can give her everything.
Supposing things changed for me, supposing...
Stop supposing, Mr. Drome. Mr. Drome, you've forgotten, it seems, my original impetus in visiting you. It was that my client found your wife suitable. Immensely, ineffably suitable. She for him and he for her.
But your client could be wrong.
My client is never wrong.
Will he keep Helen soaring high in the air as I promised her?
Please, let's have no poetics. Are there any other questions?
The money.
Cash, of course.
If you could let me have...
An advance? Certainly, Mr. Drome. Shall we say 5,000?
10.
I understand, Mr. Drome, you wish to take your wife on a little farewell spree.
The rest of the money. I want it all to go to her.
You really think she'll need it?
I want her to have it. Must I sign?
Only in this one place. Now, may I offer my congratulations, Mr. Drome? Till tomorrow, then. Shall we say 9 in the morning?
Tell me again, honey. Tell me it's all right. Tell me they won't take us away in a paddy wagon.
They won't, my darling. It was only a deal.
You know, honey, when I called you for lunch today and you weren't in, I nearly went out of my mind. You could have left a note or something.
I wanted to surprise you.
It was good for me, though. It started me thinking about the two of us, about our fight this morning, about me always saying I'm going to walk out on you. I don't think I'd ever walk out on you, Charlie.
Don't say that. I'm sorry, Helen. It was a deal. I'm not used to swinging a deal. $14. 14 hours till tomorrow morning.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. Just talking to myself.
Oh, that means money in the bank. Where are we going?
Oh, everywhere, my darling. All the expensive, tucked-away places.
The Peacock?
I've already phoned.
How much will you tip the waiter?
$20, $30, maybe $100.
Like it was a dime.
And after dinner, the theater. Guys and dolls.
Oh, we were going to be eagles, Charlie, remember? Eagles flying in the sky.
I've never forgotten, my darling. And then, the casino.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Place your bets. Chips are down.
I'm walking a tight one. I know it won't last. I know somebody's going to come along
Place your
and cut it.
bets, ladies and gentlemen. Last chance to place your bets. Place your bets.
You know what, Charlie? You're going to laugh at me, but now that I'm here, I'm scared to bet.
Here. When they're gone, they've got cousins.
No kidding, Charlie. You bet them.
Try a system, Helen. Red or black, odd or even, high or low. What do you say, huh?
It's about the deal,
Place
isn't it,
your
Charlie?
bets, ladies and gentlemen. Last
Is there any
chance.
number
Place
you'd
your
like? How about
What's the number?
the number?
The price in the deal.
50,000.
Place
Charlie, there's
your
nothing
bets,
worth.
ladies and gentlemen. Last chance to place your bets. The chips are down. Number 8, black, odd.
In 8 hours. 8 hours.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Place your
Come on,
bets.
Charlie, let's go. If we stay, they'll only win it back.
Place your bets. Chips are down. Number 22, black, even.
When we were married,
You were 22.
all my life I've
Place
lost.
your bets, ladies
Charlie.
and gentlemen.
Charlie, stop now. I don't feel well.
Last chance.
Come on, Charlie, no
There is
kidding.
one chance. If I could win the whole 50,000. 0.
The chips are down. Zero.
Going to do it. Hold tight to me, Helen.
Charlie,
Place your
look,
bets.
I don't feel well.
Place your
17
bets.
black.
Chips are down. 17, black, odd.
We've won 25,000. We're halfway there.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Place your bets. Chips are down. Number 18, red, even.
You lost.
I won't lose. I can't lose.
But if you do,
Then I lose you, Helen.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Place your bets. The chips are down. Double, zero.
Come on, honey. If we cash in what we've got left.
There'll still be 9 o'clock tomorrow
Ladies
morning.
and gentlemen, place your bets. Last chance to place your bets.
9.
The chips are down. Number 9, red R's. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Place your bets.
We won the $50,000.
Come here.
What?
Sit down like you like to. Head in my lap. Oh. Little boy, blue chip. You know, I found something out in the casino tonight.
What a lucky guy your husband is.
No, something else. Said I don't want to fly.
We haven't been asleep all night. It's almost 9 o'clock.
I've never been more wide awake in my life.
Neither have I.
I finally know what I want. You see, honey, oh, sure, I like a lot of fun, but that's not the most important thing anymore. I want you, Charlie Drone, for good and all. Charlie,
Yes, dear.
what did you sell?
Nothing, my darling. Nothing.
What kind of nothing?
Helen, a deal's a man's affair.
Why don't we go to bed, Charlie?
You go, darling. I'll be along.
I'll wait for you.
No sense you're waiting. Go to sleep. I won.
Won?
At the casino. Over $50,000.
Indeed.
The $10,000. And an extra 5 for goodwill.
What a pity.
Your client, he'll clear 5,000.
Mr. Drome, my client is a remarkable man. A man of infinite wealth who could hardly be overjoyed at a $5,000 profit. But as I said, my client found your wife immensely suitable. She for him and he for her.
I don't care.
Mr. Drome, my client is a proud man. Well, we shall see what we shall see.
What will happen?
Either you will sell Mrs. Drome or you will not.
But you don't understand. I never meant to... I love her.
Either you will sell Mrs. Drome or you will not.
Tell your client I will not.
Mr. Drome, I will tell him. Good day, sir.
Is it all right? Did it go the way you wanted?
It will, my darling. It will. Helen, you should have seen me. You would have been proud.
For whatever it is, I am proud.
How simple it was. Should I tell you, Helen?
I'm your wife.
I was going to sell my wife. No, Helen, I only wanted you to be happy. First time he came, I thought it was a joke. Second time, I wasn't sure. And then yesterday, he came for the third time. We had had that fight, and all the time I knew you were right, that you should have married someone else. I could never make you happy. He offered you a husband, Helen, a real husband. Richer than either of us ever knew. Someone who could take you up to the sky. That was the deal, Helen. The deal.
What was the price?
$50,000. He gave me 10 so I could take you out as I've always wanted to take you out. The rest of it, the other 40,000, it was all of it for you.
It was a good deal, Charlie. Smart deal.
It was a dirty, rotten deal. Say it, Ellen.
I love you, Charlie Drone.
Won't you see, my darling, it's all different now. Because last night we won.
Don't answer it. Oh, Charlie, if you love me, please don't answer it.
Helen, you stay right here, right where you are. This is the end of the deal. It's the end.
Charlie!
Naturally, Mr. Drome, whom did you expect?
Then you're the client. I don't know your name.
As a matter of fact, I have a great many names.
The deal is off. Here, 15,000. 20.
Don't you remember? I paid you last night, Mr. Drome, in the casino. I paid you in full.
Here, all of it, the whole $50,000.
Mr. Drome, you and I are, if you will pardon the expression, business people. Well, when a man has been in business for as long as I have, Mr. Drome, well, one is apt to become, shall we say, rather over-scrupulous. You see, my pride is considerably more formidable than any profit you offer me. Besides, I find your wife suitable, immensely suitable. I for her, and she for me.
Get out of here.
Mr. Drome, you surprise me. I'm sorry, Mr. Drome, really. I'd hoped this sort of thing wouldn't be necessary.
I can't. You won't take her.
You won't let me.
I won't let you.
My dear Mr. Drome, don't you know that since the beginning of time there's been only one who's disallowed me anything?
It wasn't fair. It wasn't legal. I was never told at any time it was you.
Please
it was
preserve
misrepresentation.
me from the law. I, as you must know, am an underworld character. Shall we get on?
All right. Anything you say. Anything.
Go ahead, my friend. Try again.
Die!
But, Mr. Drome, I never die. Mr. Drome.
What?
Mr. Drome,
Where is she?
She's inside.
What did you do to her?
I'm afraid nothing.
You're afraid.
You see, she's not the woman I had bargained for.
What? I don't understand.
She wouldn't have me. All these years, Mr. Drome, all these years I've been watching your wife. Hardly a woman in the city seemed more suitable. Just now, all she kept saying over and over was, I love you, Charlie. I love you, Charlie. I had never really foreseen that. I'd always seen her yearning for the things, the sensations of her world. Yachts and limousines and silks and furs and all the things little girls are made of. That's why I thought it was I she loved. But something has happened. Within 24 hours, something has gone awry. Your wife loves you, Mr. Drome.
But...
Yes. You see, I have my pride. I've always had my pride. They say it's been my downfall. Now, if I were just a nice, simple cad instead of who I am, I might easily take your wife, Mr. Drome, while she still loves you. But I am who I am. And I cannot play second fiddle even to you, Mr. Drone. You see, I have my pride. My damnable pride.
Helen. I'm here, Charlie. I'm right here, Charlie.
Oh, Helen. Be careful, Helen. I may be back. In case you have a deal pending, be careful. You could get into a devilish lot of trouble.